Are you aware of how color affects you in your life? Whether that's being advertised to you, colors that you wear, the colors that you don't wear, colors that you surround yourself with, and how that actually impacts your brain, your thinking, your feeling, your energetic system, and so much more. Let's color outside the lines together. Color therapy is something that I definitely would consider myself an expert on. Why am I an expert? Many reasons. Number one, I've grown up in an artist community. My mother has taught painting and drawing at a major arts gallery in North America for many, many years. Over 20 years. And I grew up with color. To give you an idea, I've always grown up with an insane amount of color. Very aware of it, hyper aware, sometimes almost too aware. And I kind of miss, I wonder what it was like to live with all white walls. I know there are people who are the opposite. Oh my God, I lived in a drab life and I love where I live and I love what I've grown up in. However, I became so aware of color. To give you an idea of every color in my room, I'll just go through the basic rainbow colors. Red, yes. Orange, yes. Yellow, lighter versions, but yep. Green, yep. Blue, purple. I have them all. more than one room, all different colors of the walls. I'm just talking the walls paint. We're not even talking about the paintings and the images and all of that. And I have become aware of color therapy. Now we connected to the chakras. See my video on chakras if you want to know more about that. Today we're going to discuss how colors actually affect us. Now I understand that everyone sees color differently. For example, I call this turquoise, and actually interestingly I just looked at the name of this paint, and this is not being sponsored by Amsterdam Paint, by the way. This is turquoise green is the name they call this. Now some people call this teal. Some people call this different colors, and we'll get into that another time. So you can call it whatever color you want. If we think of, I'm sure you've seen the famous prism. For those who haven't, I think Pink Floyd did an album cover of it where it's a prism and you see the light shining through and the light makes it all the different colors. I'll get into the science aspect of it and then how I've actually seen it apply to myself, but in others in life and what I really notice about them. Why you want to know about colors, how it makes you feel, think, energetically speaking, is it making you go faster, slower? There's an energetic frequency to colors. And we can use that to our advantage of our lives and the intent we want to use it. Also, it helps us to understand others. Does that mean somebody wearing all red that they are a certain way? Of course not. There are other aspects to them. But you will get a clue of the different colors people wear, what that means about them, and what colors you'll notice energize you. But before that, let's just get into the actual light aspect. As I mentioned before, the prism. The light shines through. Real light, it contains all the colors. It's all. So all these beautiful colors that we see in life is actually kind of an illusion. It's all colorless, and I look at it as light as it's not even white. It's like clear. That's how I see it personally, that it isn't even white, because white is all... It contains all colors. Black is the absence of all colors. Yeah, I get that. But beyond that, there is so much more to what the colors mean. So I'll get into the meaning of them and then how you can apply them in life. Red is a very passionate, grounding color. It can energize us, make us feel alive. When you think of a stop sign, it makes us stop and take notice. Red can be seen as sexy. Passion can be also love. If you think of some of the movie stars, they have the red carpet. So we think of red velvet curtains. We think of the theater. Confidence. Orange is a real creative color. It can be also a sexual color. Very playful, youthful. If you think of a citrus orange, it's cleansing, but in a way that enlivens engagement with life. Carefree, silly, fun, laughter. If you think of the orange chakra, it can also be tied to emotion. Yellow, we have the mental, focus, the appetite, when we will something to happen, following through, happiness, lighten up. Green, peacefulness, healing, abundance, love, emotional connection, growth, nature. It calms, healthy. Blue, communication, also a creative color. Trustworthy, reliable, calm, ethereal. Angelic, rest, sleep, soothing, breath of fresh air. Indigo, the third eye, inner knowing, the inner world, deepness, in between, sensitive, profound, realization, perspective, magical. Purple, or violet. We also have the magical, spiritual. It's the cliche spiritual color. Luxury, ideas, meditative, higher frequency, thinking differently, calming the mind. White. When we come to white, we have all colors. Some call it purity, innocence, clearing, unity, new, light, elusive, multidimensionality. Black. Black is a power color. Grounding, safety, protection, refinement, mysterious, nothingness, vastness, inward. You see the stars shining through the blackness of the vast outer space. We also have potentiality. Black and white do not have to be seen as separate, but as one. Turquoise. Turquoise is a magical color as well, in a way that it transforms our feelings and thoughts by putting them together and making sure that our heart and our mind are working together and that they're not separate. We have song, technology, new ways of thinking, trust, relationships, being who you want to be. Pink, we think of love, self-love, loving others, sharing our heart, passion, living our passion, openness. Silver, we have the connected to the moon, posh, refined elegance, technology, psychic connection with the moon, futuristic, cold, elusive, mystery and magic. Gold. Gold is seen as a masculine connected to the sun. Number one, not settling, going for it. New ways of thinking, golden age, riches, abundance in all its forms, mentally, emotionally, physically, smiling, warmth. Many more colors, of course, that we can use. When you learn to work with the colors and putting them consciously in ways that you want to experience them in your life, you can use the particular tones for the attributes you seek within. You can wear the color, you can have an object from that. You may notice that you're drawn to certain colors. Try on a new color that you haven't had before. If you don't want to wear it, you can get something as simple as a soap dish that you have in that color, or a glass. You can notice that color in nature, or paint it, draw it, get a marker, get a pen, and start being conscious of the colors that are used and marketed to you to have a specific reaction. It is no secret that the majority of fast food restaurants are using the warm red, orange, and yellow because it stimulates the appetite, it gets us active, it gets us moving, it gets us in fast food, gets us in quick, and gets us out. You're in, you're out, you're fed, next. Do you want fries of that? Or how about this? It's no coincidence. I want you to take a look around cities in the world, or type in Google Images, purple buildings. How many purple buildings are there out there? There may be some purple lights out there, but actual, physical purple architecture, because it will always be seen. I even went to an architect's convention. I was very fascinated when as a guest, and I asked the question, do you see purple ever happening in architecture? And they said, they talked about Prince and purple rain, and how yes, it's seen as an elegant color, but they still, for the trends, it is not seen to be a popular color. Now, isn't that interesting that it's fascinating because that is seen as a spiritual color, right? Something that's spiritual, awareness, beyond spiritual, if you don't believe in that, awareness of the cosmic, see your star, awareness of more than you, being aware, less of your lower urges of the sex and the, not that the sex is good or bad, but the sex and the food and the eating and the physical and your feeling in the heart and all those things that we can easily do in TV, but the actual awareness of what reality is to be, that is more in those shades of the purple. Of course, you don't have to just have purple or be surrounded by that. But is it a coincidence that we don't see those colors as much? Or how about political parties? It's not shown for a reason. They use these other colors because humans are more comfortable with blue or red, or it's seen more often. So when you're aware that these colors are being marketed to us and not shown for a reason, you can go, okay, I'm aware of this and I'm going to choose to have that color more in my life, or just know that those aspects that you relate to a color, whatever that is for you, I gave you some guidelines, you can start to become aware and go, oh, I want to tap into that. I want to have this purple. I will say there's one hotel that comes to mind for those in the UK, Haya, brilliant, beautiful people, there's a hotel chain called Premier Inn, and they have some purple light in some of their hotels. For those in the US, it's kind of similar to Best Western, that's the best way I would describe the comparison. Anyway, they have purple, and it's sort of used in a different way. They're smart, using elegance to basic accommodations, which I find interesting and refreshing that actually at least somebody's trying to use the color in that way. However, in the UK, I find purple is more welcome because, again, we have the connection to royalty. If you know the Cadbury company, purple they use for a reason. It's a purple. Just as an example, look at the buildings around you. Look at the colors that are available. How many purple pieces of clothing are available? I know it depends on the trends. How many are in the shops that you can buy, or the clothing that you have. So become aware of the colors that you want to wear, that you want to have, that you see in others, and know that there may be what works for you. And if you don't want to wear any color, that's totally fine, but I recommend playing with color. It will definitely change your mood, change your life, especially if you paint the walls or have pictures up with color. You will change your world one ray from the light. But remember, at the end of all of it, it's all connected to this clear source, and it's a frequency. Know that you're a frequency, and when you're aware of the frequency, you will choose a frequency that works for you, and you can see it also in others.